All over America, people are sneezing, they're choking, they're gasping, their eyes are running, and they're using up boxes of Kleenex tissues. And then they go out to see their car, and what looks like yellow dust is covering these otherwise shiny vehicles. What is it? It's pollen, and that means allergy season is here. Nearly 1/4 of all Americans suffer from allergies. And if you're one of them, our health reporter, Laurie Johnson, has some good news for you.
All of us breathe in tiny particles of pollen floating in the air. In the spring, it's from trees. Summertime means grass pollen, and in autumn, it's from weeds. For many of us, it's no big deal. But if our immune system overreacts to pollen, our body produces something called histamine, which triggers allergy symptoms.
Wheezing, runny nose, watery eyes, just a horrible situation.
So we're going to get a one-day break from the pollen, but it is going to come roaring back.
Meteorologist Patrick Rocky says you can know what to expect by watching the weather.
This year's allergy season has been unusually bad, and one of the reasons is because we've had such a wet winter in many parts of the country that just encourages things that produce pollen to grow.
The worst city for allergies is Jackson, Mississippi, followed by Knoxville, Tennessee, then Chattanooga, McAllen, Texas, and Louisville.
Some of the worst areas are in the South and the Mid-South, areas where you have a longer growing season, it gets warmer, and so the pollens can bloom for longer during the year. But another thing that makes them bad is you get big changes in the weather. You have big storm systems that move through, and so you'll go from high pressure to low pressure over a couple of days, and it's that change in pressure that can really make folks who have allergies miserable this time of the year.
It's a good idea to check your local pollen forecast because it tells you how much pollen will be in the air that day. For instance, on rainy days, there's less, but on windy days, there's more. It also tells you what kind of pollen is in your area.
You may not be sensitive at all to grass pollens, but it may be the tree pollens that get you.
Dr. Greg Pendell says people with allergies will feel a lot better if they make a few changes, like closing the windows.
We all like that fresh spring air to come in, but what's in that air? Pollen. So keep that out. And use your air conditioning. The air conditioning helps to cool, dry, and clean the air, and that's good for people with allergies. Same thing in your car. Windows up, air conditioning on.
Also, change your clothes when you come inside because you're likely covered in pollen. Don't forget to wash your skin and hair.
I always tell my patients to keep an allergy-free zone in their house, and that should be the bedroom, because that's where you spend the most time and that's where you sleep.
That means washing your bedding frequently in hot water.
We change the sheets at least once a week because even though the windows are closed, pollen can still get in just by going in and out of the house.
Using a neti pot or nasal irrigation will also help. Warm salt water gently rinses away all of the pollen trapped inside your nose and sinuses.
I recommend it at least once to twice daily. But it's not a drug, it's not a medicine, so you can't really overdo it.
Pollen is at its worst from 5 to 10 in the morning, so if possible, wait until later to go out and wear an N95 mask for added protection. Over-the-counter medications can help, and Dr. Pendell recommends Claritin and Allegra. If those don't work, ask for a prescription. Allergy shots work the best.
So the way the allergy shots work is that we give a very tiny but increasing amount of allergen, and it increases the immune system's tolerance. So over time, we can significantly decrease or even eliminate your symptoms altogether.
Patients start off by getting a shot once a week, but taper off to once every 6 weeks. If you have allergies now, but you didn't used to have them, you're not alone. Seasonal allergies are at an all-time high. Doctors know this for sure, but what they're not so sure about is why. There are 3 possible explanations. Number 1, we're too clean, meaning our immune system is out of whack because we're not exposed to enough bacteria. Number 2, we're too dirty. meaning our bodies are reacting to being exposed to too many environmental toxins. And third, climate change is causing plants to produce 3 to 5 times more pollen than they used to.
All sound equally plausible, all are equally difficult to prove, and I think we're still in the dark about it.
So regardless of the reason, allergies are getting worse. But don't let that keep you behind closed doors. Use these common sense solutions so you can still enjoy the great outdoors. Lori Johnson, CBN News.